Okay, hello everyone. Today I am going to take the chapter matrices and determinant. Now this is a very interesting as well as a scoring chapter. So let us start with first of all the definition of matrix. Matrix is basically arrangement of elements, arrangement done in rows and columns. The horizontal arrangement is called as row and the vertical arrangement is called as column. Now let us take an example for this and redefine the matrix also. So matrix is basically a rectangular arrangement of mn elements arranged in m rows and n columns. Matrix is denoted by capital letter and moreover for writing down the elements we will be using the square bracket. So let us take an example here. Let A be a matrix. So A is equal to, you will be placing a square bracket and let us write down the elements. So let the elements be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here you see this is the first horizontal arrangement, what we'll be calling as the first row, and it will be denoted by R1. Likewise, this is the second arrangement, horizontal arrangement, and it will be denoted by R2. This is the second row. Likewise, this is the first vertical arrangement and it will be denoted by C1. This is the second vertical arrangement. It will be denoted by C2 and this is C3. So basically this is an arrangement of 6 elements arranged in 2 rows and 3 columns. Now one more important thing, each and every entry of the given matrix is called as element. Now how an element is represented or denoted? An element is denoted by the term Aij, where I stands for the position of row and J stands for the position of column. So if I ask you, what is the value of A12? Then it should be clear to you. I am asking you the element which is placed in first row, second column. So let us see first row, second column. So this is the first row and this is the second column. That means the value of A12 is 2. Likewise, if I ask you what is the element A23? Then A23 means what? I am asking you the element which is placed in second row, third column. So just count it. This is the first row, this is the second row, third column means the value of A23 is what? It is 6. So I hope this is clear to you. So element is denoted by the term Aij, where I stands for row and J stands for column. Now the second important term here what you will be using is the order of the matrix. Now how order of a matrix is denoted? Order of the matrix is denoted by M cross N. Actually we write it as M cross N, but how to read it? It is M by N, where M stands for the number of rows and N stands for number of columns. Now here in this example you see 2 rows and 3 columns are there. So what will be the order of this particular matrix? The order of this particular matrix will be 2 by 3. Is it fine now? So I think it is clear to all the element representation as well as the order of the matrix. Now let me take one more example for this. Consider a matrix A as, see the elements what I am going to write it down here, 2 minus 1, 3, 4, 1, 0. Now let us count the number of rows as well as the column. Here 3 rows are there and 2 columns are there. That means the order of this matrix will be 3 by 2. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, fine. Moving to the next part. Consider a matrix of order m by n. That means this particular matrix is having m number of rows and n number of columns. Now total how many elements it will accommodate? The total number of elements here it will be mn elements. So let us write down the rough structure of this matrix. So A is equal to, place a square bracket here. Now let us start writing the elements. We'll start with the very first position. What about this? We are going to place the element in first row, first column. That means the element will be denoted by A11. Now what this A11 means? A11 means the element is placed in first row and first column. Now moving ahead, what will be the second element? As we are continuing with the same row, so it will be A12. Likewise, A13, this is the element. Now this element is placed where? First row, third column. Now the matrix what we are going to write is of order m by n. Means m number of rows are there and n number of columns are there. So in this, what will be the last element? It will be A1n. What this A1n means? A1n means the element is placed in first row and nth column. Now let us write down the second row element. The second row first column element will be A21. Next will be A22. Next will be A23. And likewise the last element will be A2n. In this way we will be writing down all the rows. Now let us move to the last row. Now how many rows are there? Total m rows are there. So the last element here, the last row first element will be AM1. This will be AM2. This will be AM3. Likewise, the last element will be AMN. So this is the rough structure of a matrix A whose order is m by n. Now in short, how to write down this matrix? We can write it down in short as A is a matrix Aij of order m by n. Now here you have to make it clear what is the value of I. I will be greater than equal to 1, less than equal to m. Likewise, j will be greater than equal to 1, less than equal to n. So I think students, these details are clear to everyone. So this is a matrix of order m by n. That means m number of rows are there and n number of columns are there. Okay, now see, if A is a matrix Aij of order m by n, then total number of elements here will be m into n. Now based on this concept, let us take an example. In a matrix, if there are 12 elements, then what are the possible orders of matrices it can have? I am going to repeat it again. If the total number of elements are 12, then what are the possible number of matrices it can have? Now see in what way you can find it out. So here the total number of elements is equal to 12. So if mn elements are there, then the order of the matrix is m by n. So if total elements are 12, then what are the possible matrices? So for that, you have to write it down 12 in terms of ordered pair AB, where A and B both are factors of 12. So here 12 you can write it down as the ordered pair AB, where A and B both are factors of 12. So in that way, the first ordered pair you will be getting 1 comma 12. The second ordered pair you will be getting 12 comma 1. Likewise 2 comma 6, 6 comma 2, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 3. So by seeing this, now you can write down the total possible matrices as 1 by 12, 12 by 1, 2 by 6, 6 by 2, 3 by 4, 4 by 3. So these many matrices are possible if the total number of elements are 12. I hope it is clear to all. So moving to the next type. Now the next is types of matrices. Types of matrices. So let A be a matrix of order m by n. The first type is row matrix. In two ways you can define this. A matrix having a single row is known as row matrix. Or you can say, if A is a matrix Aij of order m by n, if the value of m is 1, then the matrix will be called as row matrix. Once again, let me repeat it. Row matrix means a matrix having a single row is known as row matrix. Or the other way, you can say, if A is a matrix Aij of order m by n, if the value of m is 1, then the matrix will be called as row matrix. For example, A is equal to matrix A, B, C, D. Now if I ask you what is the order of this matrix, then you will say, since it is having one row, so it is 1. And how many columns are there? 4 columns are there. So that way it is 1 by 4. Since it is having a single row, so this is an example of row matrix. Likewise, one more example let us take. B is equal to A, E, I, O, U. Now again, this is an arrangement of vowels, and what way it is arranged? It is arranged in a single row, but how many columns are there? 5 columns are there. So what is the order of this matrix? Order is 1 by 5. Since it is having just single row, that is why what is this called as? This will be called as row matrix. Now the second type is column matrix. Now the similar manner we can define this. A matrix having a single column is known as column matrix. Or you can say, let A is equal to Aij of order m by n. If the value of n is 1, then the matrix will be called as column matrix. Will be called as column matrix. For example, let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here you see, if I ask you what is the order of this matrix, then you need to count the total number of rows here. So this is first row, second row, third row, fourth row. That means total 4 rows are there. Whereas column is concerned, just one column. So the order is 4 by 1. Only one column is there. So what is this? This is a column matrix. Likewise, one more example let us take. B is equal to A, B. Now what about this example? It is having 2 rows and 1 column. So the order will be 2 by 1. And this is again an example of column matrix. So row and column. Single row, then it is row matrix. Single column, then it is column matrix. Okay, now move to the third type. Now see this third type. square matrix. Very important matrix, square matrix. In the same condition, let us define it. Let A is equal to Aij of order m by n. If m is equal to n, that means if the number of rows is equal to number of columns, then the matrix will be called as square matrix. Let us take an example for this. A is equal to matrix A, B, C, D. Just count the number of rows and columns. Here 2 rows are there and 2 columns are there. That means the order of the matrix is 2 by 2. So here rows and columns, the numbers are same. So this is an example of square matrix. Now in case of square matrix, we don't say it is a square matrix of 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. Simply we say this is a square matrix of order 2. Since the word square is mentioned over there, so square itself denotes that number of rows and number of columns are same. So obviously m and n both are equal. So no need to write it down or no need to say as 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. Simply if you are saying that it is a square matrix of 2, then that is sufficient. So this is an example of square matrix. Okay, let us take one more example. Let B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just count the number of rows and column. 3 rows and 3 columns. That means the number of rows and columns are same. So again, this is a square matrix of order 3. So I hope you are getting the things clear. So this is the third type of matrix which is called as square matrix. Okay, now next is the diagonal elements. Diagonal elements. See how to define diagonal elements. Let A be a matrix, square matrix of order 3. Let us write down the rough structure of this. A11, A12, A13. Second row, A21, A22, A23. Third row, A31, A32, A33. This is the rough structure of a square matrix of order 3. Now see diagonal elements. Diagonal elements are the elements Aij where I is equal to j. Once again, let me repeat it. The diagonal elements in a square matrix, the diagonal elements are the elements Aij which obey the condition I is equal to j. Now let us find out the diagonal element in this particular example. This is the rough structure of matrix of order 3. So I is equal to j. Now these are the diagonal elements which is obeying the condition I is equal to j. I hope this is clear to everyone. So diagonal elements means in a square matrix, the elements Aij are the diagonal elements where the value of I is equal to the value of j. Now moving to the same here, non-diagonal elements. Now it's quite obvious. The elements which are not diagonal are non-diagonal elements, but see how to define it. Non-diagonal elements means the elements Aij where I is not equal to j. That means all these elements are called as non-diagonal elements. So diagonal elements, and the second one is non-diagonal elements. Now you know the difference between diagonal and non-diagonal elements. Now we'll move to the fourth type of the matrix. see the fourth matrix, that is the diagonal matrix. Let A be a square matrix of any order. So let A is equal to Aij of any order. So let us take the order of the given matrix as n. Diagonal matrix means a square matrix whose non-diagonal elements are 0. Whose non-diagonal elements are 0 is called as diagonal matrix. Non-diagonal elements means Aij is 0, for which cases? For the value I not equal to j. Now let us take an example for this. A is equal to A0, 0b. Now let us see whether it is a diagonal matrix or not. First of all, is this a square matrix? Yes, definitely it is a square matrix because the number of row and the number of column is same. Secondly, are the non-diagonal elements 0? Yes, it is. The diagonal elements are A and B. The non-diagonal elements are 0. So this is obviously an example of diagonal matrix. Likewise, let us take one more example. Let B is equal to A0, 0, 0b, 0, 0, 0c. Now what about this? This is a square matrix. Moreover, the diagonal elements are A, B, C and the non-diagonal elements are 0. That means this is again an example of diagonal matrix. In short, you can denote this as this is diagonal AB. That means if you are writing this, then it is sufficient that you are mentioning what? You are mentioning a diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are A, B. And obviously, this matrix is a square matrix of order 2 because diagonal matrix are supposed to be a square matrix. Likewise, B matrix you can write, it is a diagonal matrix A, B, C. So this is the example of diagonal matrix. Okay, now the next one, the next type is the scalar matrix. Now this is the fifth type, scalar matrix. Let A be a square matrix of any order if the non-diagonal elements are 0. Non-diagonal elements are 0 and the diagonal elements are same. What this mean? Aij is equal to 0 for the condition I not equal to j, and Aij, the elements are same for I is equal to j, then the matrix will be called as scalar matrix. Non-diagonal elements 0, diagonal elements are same, then the matrix will be called as a scalar matrix. For example, let A be a matrix A0, 0A. Now here you see, check whether both the conditions this matrix is following or not. The non-diagonal elements are 0 and moreover the diagonal elements are same, they are equal. So this is an example of scalar matrix. Likewise, one more example let us take. B is equal to 2, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 2. So this is an example of scalar matrix. So this was scalar matrix. Now moving to the next one, that is identity matrix, or the another name is for this is unit matrix. A little modification here will do. The things are same here. The non-diagonal elements are 0 and the diagonal elements are equal to 1. That means unity. A little modification we have done in scalar matrix. So, if the non-diagonal elements are 0 and diagonal elements equal to 1, then the matrix will be called as identity matrix, or it is unit matrix. Now, for identity matrix, we denote it by capital I. Now, let us take an example for this. Capital I is equal to 1 0 0 1. This is an identity matrix of which order? Order 2. Likewise, I is equal to 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. This is an identity matrix of order 3. Now, if you want to specify it more, instead of capital I, you can write it as I2. So, what is I2? We are specifying it. Identity matrix of which order? Order 2. Likewise, this is identity matrix of order 3. So, if you want, you can write it as I3 also, no problem. Likewise, what is IN? IN means it is an identity matrix of which order? Order n. Identity means a square matrix. Is that clear? So, identity of order n means it is a square matrix where the non-diagonal elements are 0 and the diagonal elements are equal to 1. So, I hope all these are clear to everyone. So, diagonal elements, then we came to the term diagonal matrix, then scalar matrix, and then finally identity matrix. Okay, now the next type. This is the 7th type, the upper triangular matrix. Upper triangular matrix. Consider a matrix, square matrix of order 3. Let us write down the rough structure of the matrix again. So, the matrix is A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, 32, 33. This is a square matrix of order 3. Upper triangular matrix means a square matrix where Aij is equal to 0 for the condition I greater than j. Once again, upper triangular matrix is what? It is a square matrix which obey the condition Aij is equal to 0 where the value of I is greater than j. That means all these elements are supposed to be 0. For example, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 0, 4, 5, 0, 0, 6. This is an example of upper triangular matrix. In the similar manner, we can define the lower triangular matrix. So, let us see the next one. Lower triangular matrix. A square matrix which obey the condition Aij is equal to 0 where the value of I is less than j. The value of I is less than j. Now, in this particular structure, let us see. The position of row is less than the position of column, I less than j. That means all these values are 0. So, let us see an example for this. A is equal to 1, 0, 0, 2, 3, 0, 4, 5, 6. So this is an example of lower triangular matrix. Is it okay? So upper triangular matrix, lower triangular matrix. Now types of matrix, we'll move to the ninth one. So the ninth one, null matrix or zero matrix. Now this is quite simple matrix. If each and every entry of the given matrix is 0, then the matrix will be called as null matrix or zero matrix. For example, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Each and every entry of the given matrix is 0. So this is a null matrix or zero matrix. And what is the order of this matrix? It is having 2 rows and 3 columns. So the order of this matrix is 2 by 3. So null matrix means what? If each and every entry of the matrix is 0, then that matrix is called as null matrix or zero matrix. So these all are the types of matrices. Now moving to the next part, comparable matrices. Now here in this chapter, theory part is a little more, but still if you are not learning all this, then how you will be developing the concept of matrices and determinant. So all these are very important parts. Comparable matrices. Two matrices are said to be comparable if their orders are same. The definition is very simple here. Two matrices are said to be comparable if their orders are same. For example, let A is a matrix Aij of order m by n. B is another matrix Bij of order p by q. If m by n, this is equal to p by q, then we'll say that A and B are comparable. A and B are comparable matrices. So simple definition, if the orders are same, then the matrices are called as comparable. Okay. Now the next one, the concept of equal matrices. Now this is very important because you will be getting the question based on this particular concept. Let A be a matrix Aij of order m by n and B be another matrix Bij of order p by q. Two matrices are said to be equal. That means A will be equal to B if it obeys two conditions. The first thing, the matrices should be comparable. That means m by n, this should be equal to p by q. And secondly, entries at the position should be equal. That means Aij, this should be equal to Bij. So these are the two important conditions by which we can say the two matrices are equal. So comparable means the orders are same and the entries at the positions are equal. So let us take an example for this. Let A be a matrix. A is equal to matrix xy zu and B is another matrix as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if A is equal to B, then definitely you can compare the entries. Both the matrices you are finding, they are comparable. This is of order 2 by 2, this is again order of 2 by 2. So that means A and B both are comparable. Now since A is equal to B given over, so you can compare the entries at the position. So on comparing, you will get the value of x as 1, y as 2, z as 3 and u as 4. A very important concept of equal matrices. So once again, if A and B are two matrices such that A is equal to Aij of order m by n, B is Bij of order p by q, A is equal to B, A will be equal to B when these two conditions it should follow. The first thing is the matrices should be comparable, that means m by n should be equal to p by q, and the second, Aij, this should be equal to Bij. I hope this is clear to you. The example based on this. So, very important concept of equal matrices. Now see, addition of two matrices. How to add? Addition. Matrices can be added only if they are comparable. Like, let A be a matrix Aij of order m by n, B be another matrix Bij of order m by n. Now see the order of both the matrix. It's m by n, they are also m by n. So definitely the two matrices are comparable. So for addition, the very first important thing is the two matrices should be comparable. So here we are finding both the matrices are comparable. So definitely we can add the two. So A plus B, this will be equal to, you will be getting a resultant matrix C. Now what about C matrix? Where C matrix will be equal to Cij and the order of the matrix will be the same. It will be m by n only. Now how to obtain Cij? Cij, this is equal to Aij plus Bij. See, when we see the theory part, we feel it's very complicated. But when we do it, it's very easy. Now, let us take an example. A be a matrix. The elements are 2, minus 3, 1, 4 to 5. What about this matrix? This matrix is having 2 rows and 3 columns. So, the order of the matrix is 2 by 3. Now, one more matrix, B matrix B, let it be. Let the elements be 1, 4, 5 and this is 6 minus 2, 4. This, what about B matrix? It is again the same thing, 2 rows and 3 columns. So, both A and B are comparable. That means both A and B can be added. So, let us add the two. It's very simple. How to add? The elements at the same position you need to add it. Like, this 2 will be added with 1. That means A11 will be added with B11. So, 2 plus 1, this will result 3. Likewise, A12 will be added with B12. So, minus 3 plus 4, it's 1. Likewise, A13 will be added with B13. So, 1 plus 5 is 6. Similarly, the same procedure you will be applying with the second row. So, 4 plus 6, this is 10. 2 minus 2 is 0. 5 plus 4, this is 9. Now, check the order of the matrix. The resultant matrix will be of the same order. So, what is the order of this matrix? The order of the matrix is 2 by 3. So, I hope you are understanding how to add two matrices. The only thing you need to check, the matrix should be comparable. Okay, one more example, let us see. Let A be a matrix 2 minus 1, 4, 3. 2 rows and 2 columns. So, the order is 2 by 2. Another matrix B, 3 minus 1, 5, 6 to 0. What about this matrix? The order is 2 by 3. Now if I ask you what is A plus B, then immediately you should give the answer that the matrices are not comparable, so addition does not exist. The order of the first matrix is 2 by 2. The order of the second matrix is 2 by 3. The two matrices are not comparable. Their orders are not same. So A plus B does not exist. Does not exist. Okay? Now in the similar manner we can subtract two matrices. Let us go with the same example. What will be A minus B? The same thing, entries at the position will be subtracted. So, place a square bracket. A11 minus B11. So, 2 minus 1, 2. Minus 3 minus 4 minus 7. 1 minus 5 minus 4. Likewise, we'll do with the second row also. 4 minus 6 minus 2. 2 minus of minus 2, it's plus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So this is the resultant matrix. So addition of two matrix, subtraction of two matrix. It's very easy. The only thing you need to check whether they are comparable or not. So now see some important properties based on matrix addition. Properties based on matrix addition. Matrix addition. The first property, matrix addition holds commutative property. Let A and B be comparable matrices of any order, then it holds commutative property. Now what does this mean? A plus B will be definitely equal to B plus A. If you are adding A and B and A, both the results will be same. So it holds commutative property. Now the second property, associative property. Let A, B, C be comparable matrices. So it holds associative property means A plus B plus C. This is equal to A plus B plus C. This is associative property. Okay, moving to the next property, that is the existence of identity. Existence of identity. Let A be a matrix of any order. Now when this matrix is added to null matrix of the same order, like if this is a matrix of order m by n and null matrix is of same order, why so? Then only you can add it. Then A plus 0 null matrix will result A matrix. So in that way you can say null matrix is additive identity. This is additive identity. Next, existence of inverse. Let A be a matrix of any order. Now when A is added to minus of A, the resultant matrix will be a null matrix. Then what is this A minus of A called as? This is additive inverse. So all these are important properties which are based on matrix addition. Now the next one is scalar multiplication. Multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. Multiplication of a matrix by a scalar. See the explanation of this. Let A be a matrix Aij of any order. Let the order be m by n and k be any scalar. Then what this k times A means? This k you have to multiply to each and every entry of the given matrix. That means k times A will be k into Aij of the same order. Now let us take an example for this. Let A be a matrix. A is equal to matrix 2 minus 1 5 6 3 minus 2. What will be the value of 3 times A? It's very easy. What do you have to do? This 3 you have to multiply to each and every element of the given matrix. So let us go for this. So it's 3 into 2 6. This is minus 3. 3 5s are 15. 3 into 6 18. 3 3s are 9. And this is minus 6. So this is how a scalar is multiplied to a matrix. Now see some properties based on this. The property is based on scalar multiplication. Let A and B be comparable matrices of any order. So let it be m by n. K be a scalar. Okay, one more scalar let us take. Let K and L be a scalar. Now see the property. The very first property, K times A plus B. This you can write, it is K into A plus K into B. Simple algebraic properties. Second property, K plus L times A. This you can write it as Ka plus La. Third property, K times La. This is same as L times Ka, or you can write it is Kl times A. So all these are simple properties based on scalar multiplication. So I hope students you are understanding all this. These all are basic concept. So now let us take some example related to this. Let A be a matrix 1 2 minus 1 4 3 0. B matrix B minus 4 3 2 5 minus 1 1. The question is find the first one A plus B. Now you very well know how to add two matrix. Second A minus B, this also you can do it. Third 3 times A, this also you know. Just now I have told you the example, I have given the example. The fourth one 2 times A plus 3 times B. Okay, let us do one by one. Moving to the first one, A plus B. See here, both A and B are comparable. So definitely you can go for all the conditions. The first one, let us find out A plus B. So A plus B, simple condition. What do you have to do? Entries at the position will be added. So let us go for this. So directly we can do 1 minus 4, it's minus 3, 2 plus 3, it's 5, minus 1 plus 2 is 1, 4 plus 5, 9, 3 minus 1, 2, and the last is 1. So this is the answer of A plus B. Likewise, the second one, A minus B. So you have to subtract. So let us subtract. 1 minus of minus 4 is plus 5. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. 4 minus 5 is minus 1. 3 minus of minus 1 is plus 4. 0 minus 1, it's minus 1. I hope students you are understanding this. Now the third one. The third one is 3 times A. It's very simple. You have to multiply 3 to each and every entry of the given matrix A. So it's 3, 2 3s are 6. Here it is minus 3 plus 12, 9, 0. This is the third one. Now the last one. What to do? You will find out 2A, 3B and then add the 2. So the fourth question is to find out 2 times A plus 3 times B. So what to do? So this is 2 times A means it is 2 times. 1, 2, minus 1, 4, 3, 0. Plus 3 times B. So it's 3 times. Minus 4, 3, 2, 5, minus 1, 1. First of all, you will be multiplying the first matrix by 2 and the second matrix by 3 and add the 2. That's all. So here it will be. So 2, 4, minus 2, 8, 6, 0. And here the second one you will be getting minus 12, 9, 6, 15, minus 3 plus 3. Now it's very easy. Add the 2 and write down the answer. So this is equal to 2 minus 12, it's minus 10. 4 plus 9, 13. Minus 2 plus 6, it's plus 4. 8 plus 15, it's 23. 6 minus 3 is 3. And the last, this is plus 3. So this is the procedure of finding all the 4 values. I hope students this type of questions very easily you can do. Now, after addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication, we are going to do the very important topic, that is matrix multiplication. Now, how to multiply 2 matrix? A very important concept of matrix multiplication. So see here, like in case of addition and subtraction, the matrices should be comparable. So in case of matrix multiplication, what is the important thing what you require? See here. Matrix multiplication. Let A be a matrix Aij of order m by n. B is another matrix Bij of order n by p. A into B matrix multiplication is possible only in case, now let me write it down first. Aij of order m by n. This is Bij of order n by p. In this you see, this is the number of row, this is the number of column. This is the number of row, this is the number of column. Matrix multiplication is possible only when the number of column of first is equal to the number of row of second. Again, let me repeat it. Two matrix can be multiplied only if the number of column of first is equal to number of row of second. Like here in this case, the first matrix, the order of the matrix is m by n. The order of the second matrix is n by p. So what we are finding here? The number of column here it is n. The number of row here it is n. As both are equal, that means here you can multiply the two matrix. Now after a multiplication, you will be obtaining a resultant matrix C here. Now what about this C matrix? The order of this C matrix will be the leftover value. What this mean? The order of the C matrix will be m by p. A very important concept of matrix multiplication. Based on this concept, you will be doing the question later on. So this should be made very clear. Two matrices can be multiplied only when the number of the column of the first is equal to the number of row of the second. And after multiplication, the resultant matrix so obtained, the order will be the row of first and the column of the second. I hope this is clear now. Now let us take some examples and we'll be checking whether in what manner the matrices can be multiplied or it cannot be multiplied. Now let me take an example here. Let A be a matrix of order 2 by 3 and B be a matrix of order 3 by 4. Let us understand whether these two matrices can be multiplied or not. Chaliye, okay, let us see. Here you see the number of column of first is 3. The number of row of second is 3. That means both are equal. So definitely multiplication is possible. Multiplication is possible here. And if it is possible, then what about the resultant? So let the resultant matrix be C. And what will be the order of this matrix? The order of the matrix will be 2 by 4. Now let us take one more example. Let A be a matrix of order 3 by 2. B be a matrix of order 4 by 2. Now what about these two matrix? Number of column of first is 2. Number of row of second is 4. Since 2 and 4 are not equal, that means in this case multiplication is not possible. Is not possible. I hope this is clear to all. What is the necessary condition for the multiplication of two matrices? Okay, now a few more examples let me take. Let A be a matrix of order 2 by 3. B is another matrix of order 3 by 1. Now I hope you can give the answer. A into B, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Why so? Because the number of column here it is 3 and the number of row here it is 3. That means both are equal, so definitely we can multiply. So let the resultant be C matrix and the order of the C matrix will be 2 by 1. Okay, fine. Now let us see what about B into A. The order of B is 3 by 1. Order of A is 2 by 3. Now what we are finding here? Number of column is not equal to number of row. That means here in this case multiplication is not possible. Multiplication is not possible. So let us take this as case 1. Now let me take one more case and then seeing through the two we'll be reaching to a conclusion. So let us take another example. A be a matrix of order 3 by 4 and B be a matrix of order 4 by 3. Now you know very well matrix multiplication is definitely possible, and the resultant matrix you will be getting as C and with the order will be 3 by 3. Let us check whether BA is possible or not. So the order of B is given 4 by 3, order of A is as 3 by 4. Here in this case also matrix multiplication is possible. The number of column is 3 and number of row is 3. So multiplication is definitely possible. So let the resultant matrix be D. And what about the order of this matrix? It is 4 by 4. Now here you see, understanding both the cases, we reach to the conclusion that in general, matrix multiplication does not obey commutative property. In general, matrix multiplication does not obey commutative property. I hope this example is clear to all. So this was the method, this was the concept of understanding matrix multiplication. Now how to multiply, that I will be explaining later on, but see whether the matrix multiplication in what case it is possible and in what case it is not possible. So I hope this is clear to everyone. So very important concept of matrix multiplication. Now see the procedure how to multiply two matrices. Okay, very simple example I will take. Let A be a matrix. The elements be 2 minus 3, 4, 0. This is a matrix of order 2 by 2. Okay. Let B be a matrix. Let the elements be 2 minus 1, 4, 1, 1, 3. Now again this is a matrix, 2 rows and 3 columns are there. So it is a matrix of order 2 by 3. Now I think now you know the answer whether matrix multiplication in this particular example is okay or not. You can multiply it or not. Yes, the answer is yes. Why so? Because the number of row here, number of column here in this case is 2, number of rows there it is 2, both are equal, so definitely we can multiply. And after multiplication, what will be the order of the resultant matrix? The resultant matrix will be of what order? It will be of order 2 by 3. Now see the procedure of matrix multiplication. So A into B. So this is 2 minus 3, 4, 0. Now place the second matrix here. This is 2 minus 1, 4, 1, 1, 3. Now see the procedure. It's very easy. Row first will be multiplied to the column of the second. So we'll start with the first row, first column. Let us place an arrow sign so that it will be easy for you to understand. Now see how to do it. We are going to multiply the first row with first column. Simple logic is the row which is multiplied to the column, the result you have to write it down in that particular row and column. Like first row we are going to multiply with the first column. So where you will be placing the resultant value, the value you will be placing it in which position? In A11. So see the procedure. This will be 2 into 2. First element you will be multiplying it with the first. Second element you will be multiplying with the second, and in between you will be placing a plus sign. So 2 into 2 plus minus 3 into 1. So first row is multiplied to first column, and the result you will be writing down in which position? In first row, first column. Likewise, you will be proceeding with other rows also. So let us move to the second row. The same column we are continuing. So what about this multiplication? It will be 4 into 2 plus 0 into 1. Now once again let me repeat. First row, first column is multiplied in this particular manner, and the result you will be placing in first row, first column. Likewise, second row you will be multiplying it with first column, and the result you will be writing down where? In second row, first column. Now this step is not at all required, you can do it directly also. Once you practice it properly, and then it's very easy to do it. Chaliye, let us do with the same procedure will be applying with the second column now. This is 2 into minus 1 plus minus 3 into plus 1. Likewise, second row, second column, 4 into minus 1 minus 4 plus 0 into 1. The second column is done. Now the same procedure you will be applying with the third column. Both the rows you will be multiplying with the third column. So here it is 2 into 4 plus minus 3 into 3. Now second row, third column, 4 into 4 plus 0 into 3. Now see, the multiplication is over. Calculate and write down the values. So let us do. This is 4 minus 3, it's 1. 4 into 2, 8 plus 0, it's 8. The first column is done. Second one, minus 2 minus 3, it's minus 5. This is minus 4. Moving to the third column, 8 minus 9, it's minus 1. And this is 16. Now check the resultant matrix. What is the order of this matrix? It is having 2 rows and 3 columns. So check the answer. This is the multiplication of the two matrices, and this is the procedure of multiplying. See, once you are practicing it, the second step is not at all required. Directly from here to here you can move, no issue. So I hope it is clear to you. Let me take one more example. Now we'll try to do it directly also. Okay. Let A be a matrix. 3, 0, 4, 1, 1, minus 1, 5, minus 3, 0. This is a matrix of order 3, square matrix of order 3. Let us take one more matrix, B as 3 minus 1, 4, 2, 1, 5. What about this matrix? 3 rows and 2 columns, so the order is 3 by 2. Since the column of first is equal to row of second, so definitely the matrix multiplication can be done. Okay. So A into B, this will be equal to. Place the matrix. So 3, 0, 4, 1, 1, minus 1, 5, minus 3, 0 into 3 minus 1, 4, 2, 1, 5. Okay. Now we'll be placing an arrow so that it will be easy to understand. So the row of the first is multiplied to the column of the second. So let us start. Now this time I will try to do it directly. The first row is multiplied to the first column of the second matrix. So the way of multiplication, A11 will be multiplied here with B11. Likewise, A12 will be multiplied with B21. A13 will be multiplied with B31. So this is exactly it goes. So 3 into 3, it's 9, plus 0, plus 4. So finally it comes 9 plus 4, it is 13. Once again I will repeat. 3 into 3 9 plus 0 into 4 it's 0 plus 4 into 1 it's 4. So it comes like 9 plus 4 it's 13. So where to place it? You will be placing in first row, first column. Now moving to the second row. We'll continue with the first column, no problem. So the same procedure of multiplication. 1 into 3 3 plus 1 into 4 is 4, 3 plus 4 7 plus minus 1 into 1 it's minus 1. So 7 minus 1 is 6. Let me repeat it again. 1 into 3 is 3 plus 1 into 4 is 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. I hope it is clear. What we are doing? Multiplying second row with first column. So where to place it? Second row, first column. Likewise, let us move to the third row. 5 3s are 15 minus 12. 5 into 3 is 15 minus 12 plus 0. So it comes 15 minus 12 is 3. So all the 3 rows we have multiplied to the first column. So now the first column is complete. Now the same procedure will apply with the second column. So okay, let us place an arrow here. Say it's not mandatory to write down make the arrow. So if you are making the arrow, you will be better understanding it. 3 into minus 1 minus 3 plus 0. So 3 minus 3 plus 0 plus 20. So minus 3 plus 0 plus 20. So it will give the result as 17. Moving to the next one. Minus 1 plus 2. That means plus 1. Minus 5, it's minus 4. Let me check it again. This is 1 into minus 1 minus 1. Plus 2 means 1. Minus 5 means minus 4. Okay, now the last row, last column. 5 into minus 1 minus 5. Minus 6. That gives minus 11. Plus 0. That means the answer is minus 11. So this is done. Now you will be closing it. Now see, identify the order of the resultant matrix. It is 3 rows and 2 columns. That means the order is 3 by 2. See, it is not required that every time you should write down the order. As we have just started the chapter, so you should be very much clear regarding the order of the matrix. That is why I am writing down the order. Otherwise, it is not required. So I hope this is clear to all. So this is how 2 matrices can be added. Now see the properties based on matrix multiplication. Properties based on matrix multiplication. The first property already you are knowing, that matrix multiplication does not hold commutative property in general. So the first property, in general matrix multiplication does not hold commutative property. This is the first one. Already you have seen the example also and it was very much clear, I suppose. The second example, second property, associative property. If let A, B, C be 3 matrices and in such a way that the multiplication is possible, in that case AB into C, this is equal to A into BC. Only case when matrix multiplication is possible. The third one, existence of identity. Now very important concept. Let A be a matrix of order m by n. Then we have a concept IM. Now what is this? This is identity matrix of order m. Identity means, once again let me remind you, it's a square matrix where the non-diagonal elements are 0 and the diagonal elements are equal to 1. So IM into A will definitely result as A, and it is equal to A into IN. Very important concept of identity. Now, two more properties are there. One more property, fourth property, distributive property, distributive over matrix addition. Let A, B, C be three matrices such that multiplication and addition possible. Then what is distributive property? A plus B, A into B plus C. This is equal to A into B plus A into C. Likewise, A plus B into C, this is equal to AC plus BC. Very important property, this comes for verification also. But you should make sure that B and C are added, means definitely they should be comparable. Multiply means the condition of multiplication it should obey. Then only this property will hold. So what is this property? This is distributive property. Okay students, for today we'll be making the class over. Next class we'll be doing more questions based on all this what we have learned today. And I hope all the things are clear to you now. The PDF you will be getting, or you can download in the link provided given below. So I hope everything was okay. So bye children.